2019, and I'd like to ask Councilman Terry Schiffel to lead the invocation.
Please. Heavenly Father, it's great to be here this evening as we begin our meeting, city business tonight. We appreciate the wonderful and warm sunshine of the day, and we appreciate all the opportunities that were bestowed on us today. We're so, of course, thankful to live in such a great and wonderful community, a place to call home and work and raise our families. We ask that you continue to bless us, provide for us like you always do. We ask for special blessings for our fire and our police departments, all of those who do put themselves in harm's way to protect us and our city. Ask a special blessing for Jeremy and Mark and Mayor Jeff and their families. These are leadership roles that we just can't do without. They're crucial to our well-being here. We'd like to acknowledge this week that we have heavy hearts as we've lost some loved ones, people that were dear to us in our community. Joel Yates passed away earlier this week. We appreciate all of his kindness and support for our city and our airborne. We'd like to remember him and his family during this tough time. Kelly Johnson lost her mom this past week. We'd like to remember her. We pray that these families are helped and encouraged by our prayers and along with the prayers of others. Help us to always be mindful of those that are doing less than their best. Help us to do things that are more pleasing to you, more Christ-like, and keep us in your care. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start business today with approval of minutes from October 21st, 2019. If I could get a motion in a second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And now I have a proclamation that I would like to read. We have some special guests with us today. Mayor J.J. Duval from Radcliffe, Mayor Pam Ogden from Vine Grove. If they would meet me over here at the podium. If I could have some other special guests that we have with us today, Mr. Bill Evans and his wife Marilyn, if they could come up here, if that's possible. We have something that we would like to read and talk about for a few minutes. As they come up, just a few things to say. You know, part of our job, speaking for all three of us and the council as well, is we get to recognize people that have made great achievements in our communities and that have really made a difference and meant a lot to the growth and given us something to build upon. And so we're blessed in this community, and I think everyone would agree with community college and with the hospital and great public services and our police and our fire and our EMS. And a large component of that and something that helps the community grow is also your media. And there's been no media outlet that has been bigger in the last 50 years for the city of Elizabethtown, for the county of Hardin, than WQXE has been. And on November 24th, 1969, they went on air for the first time. So on November 24th of this month will be a 50-year anniversary for WQXE. So Bill and Marilyn Evans, who are standing here beside me, are the founders and the owners for 50 years of WQXE in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. So we're very, very proud to be able to stand up here today and talk about some of the different things that they've meant to our community. And on a personal note, I grew up a little bit with Quixie. My dad did a lot of radio ball games, football and basketball, especially during the 80s. And so I spent a lot of time with him in press boxes and that old black van that they used to have that had all the equipment in it. We would ride to different games. And I'd watch my dad and his partner Mason Smoot hook up a lot of electronics that I had no idea how they worked. And you'd hear him talking to people back at the station and they'd go live on the air. So I really enjoyed that time. And when I was growing up, to be able to spend with my dad when he was calling those games. And then later in life, when I began working, or after I worked with Kentucky State Police for some time as a public affairs trooper, a lot of that was dealing with the media, and there was no better partner than WQXE and WLF here in Elizabethtown. So from a personal standpoint and on behalf of the city council and city government, we thank you all very much for everything that you've added and contributed to our community, and we wouldn't be where we are without you. So, with that being said, I want to read a proclamation. Whereas on November 24th, 1969, at 10 a.m., Bill and Marilyn Evans began broadcasting daily from 6 a.m. to midnight. Broadcasting 24 hours daily did not begin until May of 1970. And whereas WQXE plays a new breakthrough in format, music appealing to adults 25 and over, and whereas Bill Evans, owner of WQXE, is named president of the Kentucky Broadcasters Association in 1989 and stays involved until his retirement in 2014. And whereas in 2002, WQXE owners bought WLF, a talk radio station, and changed the format to country. And whereas in 2005, WQXE broadcast Dickens' Christmas Carol, a radio drama in the style of radio studios from the 30s and 40s that we started this weekend. And whereas WQXE radio station and their affiliates have been a mainstay in the city of Elizabethtown for great music and news format radio, now therefore, I, Jeffrey H. Gregory, Mayor, City of Elizabethtown, do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2019 as WQXE Quixie Day in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Congratulations and thank you for everything that you've done for us.
So I pretty much have the same thing. Mine is much more wordier. So, but let's just get to it. Now, therefore, I, Pam Ogden, Mayor of the City of Vine Grove, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2019 as WQXE Quixie Day in the City of Vine Grove. Thank you all.
And Bill and Ms. Evans, I'd like to also say that you helped me get elected over the last few years. all your coverage and advertising and allowing us to be part of your family. So like they both said, most of everything that we have can't be said any better than what Mayor Gregory did. We were all together, as we all joked about, doing the Christmas Carol this weekend that I really did the best at. Other than Brian and Tricia, they did a great job as well. But Jeff had the great idea of bringing us three together and being able to present this to you all at one time. So we appreciate everything that your, I say, Quixie family has done here in our community. And so therefore now I, James S. Duval Jr. of the City of Radcliffe, by the virtue vested in me, do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2019 Quixie Day in the City of Radcliffe. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. What a wonderful testimony it is to our county that three of the mayors would come together in such a fashion. And that's amazing into itself, but not unexpected from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. In the years that I've been associated with Elizabethtown, if you just mention Elizabethtown, a lot of times people just glow because we have such a tremendous influence in our own community, and we're known all over the state and Hardin County. I'll tell you this, what we did with our radio station came so naturally because it's a reflection of the community in which we live. Hardin County, Kentucky, Elizabethtown, Vine Grove, Radcliffe, it's a special place. It's like no other. I don't know how an immigrant from Grayson County, Kentucky, stopped short of something and landed here, but it's been so good for us. And I want to make a proclamation of my own this afternoon. All of you in this room today are now FOQs. We've had FOQs for 50 years. You are now friends of Quixie. And you can raid our refrigerator, go in the back door, whatever you need. Just tell them you're an FOQ and they'll take good care of you.
Are we allowed to get the main part there where everybody else is? We're in the studio.
In the studio.
On occasion.
They told me to ask you that.
I know who's got my back here. But I'm serious when we say that Elizabethtown and Hardin County are just so special. You have to have a market like this in order to do the things that we've done. And all of you who are sitting at the table, your groups, you have the future of a lot of young people and families in your hands. Elizabethtown is on the grow. It's going to attract more money than ever before, and you have a lot to do with its prosperity. And the fact that you are a team and work together so well, we're going to see great things out of you all. And I just would like to say that We're going to start the next 50 years trying to do a little better than we've already done. So thank you so much for letting us be in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know, I ain't gonna walk back. I'm gonna do it one more time. Do one more. Give me a count.
Make sure all right.
You don't have to do this.
Yeah, let me
Okay,
get- let
ready?
me- everybody.
1, 2, 3. Look
Hey,
like-
everybody in Dixie, if you'll come up, everybody jump in Dixie.
Just don't let Scott Gettle stand in front of
Well, he didn't know.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good, one shot wonder.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, sir. No problem.
JJ, you may want to stop. Watch out.
I need a.
Thank you. Okay, so our next presentation, Mr. Stacy Reynolds from the Heritage Council.
Hello.
Good question.
All right. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful autumn day in our great community. And I'm thankful to be part of it. It's going to be hard to follow that presentation, but someone had to do it, so here I am. I want to tell you about a couple events we have coming up in downtown Elizabethtown. The first one is our annual Dine Around Downtown event. It will be this Saturday, November 9th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will have the trolley available to get people around downtown, should they want to ride that. We're hoping we'll have some good weather. We've got 14 to 15 participating businesses in the event this year. More information can be found on the Historic Downtown Elizabethtown Facebook page. We have a menu that's been posted on that recently, and we'll have a map available soon as well. The copy of a map and the menu can be picked up at participating businesses on Friday and Saturday. This is an event that's always been very popular in our community, and it's one that we hope to see a lot of you out there and participating in. It's kind of a progressive style dinner. There are no advance tickets for this year's event, so you just pay as you go through it. That's kind of the old system. We felt like it worked a little bit better, so we went back to that old system for this year's event. The second event is actually a Light Up Downtown event, but that's Sarah Vaughn's event, and I wouldn't dare steal her thunder. I'll let her tell you about that event, but that's another great event, and you can tell the holidays are upon us. You kind of feel it. There's a little bustling of activity downtown, even more so than usual, and that's good to see, and I hope to see each of you down there as well for the holiday season. A couple of minor items I wanted to pass along. With the exception of the huge painting that was in the old Heritage Council office, we have officially moved everything to the new location down at the old Cobbler's Cafe. And I just wanted to thank the council and the mayor once again for making that property available to us. It's an excellent property for the Heritage Council, and we'll take good care of that property. And just thank you once again for allowing us to use that property. We'll get that painting moved as soon as we can. Couple other items. I think I mentioned it in the previous meeting, but I do know that the property has closed now. The old CED building that's next to Sign Makers across from Haycraft Street, that has been purchased by Three Sons CrossFit. I believe they may have even started some renovations this past weekend. So hopefully they'll get that thing up and operational soon, and we'll have another downtown business. Another item that I wanted to share with you that I didn't get to share last month was Charlie Skis gave me some information about the Charles Loxton Historic Downtown Walking Tour. We completed the 32nd season on September 26th with 94 participants that evening. In all, the tour hosted 813 participants this season from over 30 states, as well as some from England. So it was a great season. You know, last year's was pretty wet, and this year's was exactly the opposite. It was very dry and very warm, but they still came out for it. And Tony can tell you that we had pretty good crowds most nights. That's really all I've got for you. The holidays are upon us. I hope to see you all downtown. Thank you for having me once again.
Thanks, Jason. Sarah Bond is going to speak to us about events.
I have put a flyer at your own location here for Veterans Day ceremony that's going to be happening. I believe this is our 6th annual event. We partner with Harden Post, Legion Post 113 to host this event. They, of course, do most of the legwork, but it's always a great partnership with them being able to celebrate Veterans Day. So that's going to be happening once again on Monday the 11th at 11 a.m. So I hope to see you guys all out there. For the rest of the season, rest of the year rather, I'm going to run down some Christmas events. Still working on some final details of those flyers. But I did send everything out to the media today to make sure that everyone is good to go. I'm well aware that Christmas is upon us with Thanksgiving being later this year than what we're normally used to. It's going to be happening pretty quick. So Christmas in the Park, we start installation for that this week, believe it or not. So the Parks and Rec guys are busy getting everything ready to go. That will officially open to the public on November 27th. It always opens the day before Thanksgiving. We're also having the annual poster contest, so you'll see all those awesome posters that were judged. You get to see all the kids that won here in just a few weeks. The following Saturday is Light Up Downtown, November the 30th. So we'll have our annual parade. We'll have all the downtown events going on throughout the day. A couple movie shows at the theater. Along with that, the day before that, actually, the ice rink as a part of Christmas in the Park will open as well. So we brought that back again this year, the artificial ice rink, and it's also available for private rentals outside of the actual public hours. So we're really excited. We're going to keep pushing that. It's great for youth group, birthday parties, things like that. And last but not least is our Trolley Express, which also coincides with Christmas in the Park, which sold out once again this year. So it's the second year we did this. We added this year, because it sold out so fast, we added this year a Friday night trolley with just a trolley only, and that sold out quick too. So obviously a very loved event, and we'll be bringing that back, and that's going to be taking place the first 3 weekends in December. So the state will also have several movie showings for kids and adults. We're going to be bringing back some nostalgia this year. Just a lot going on for the holidays. So etownevents.com is where we've got everything listed. Thank you all. Better ask now.
We'll call you.
You might see me.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, that'll bring us to ordinance first reading, ordinance number 26, 2019, amending the official zoning map for property located at 736 Hawkins Drive. Mrs. Shaw.
Whereas the Elizabethtown Planning Commission held a public hearing on October 22nd, 2019, initiated by Third Generation Enterprises LLC for property located at 736 Hawkins Drive, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And whereas the Elizabethtown Planning Commission, based on the testimony at the public hearing, determined that the request to amend the official zoning map for a portion of the property located at 736 Hawkins Drive to a proposed zoning district classification of neighborhood commercial C2 would be appropriate for the property, as the Planning Commission found the request to be in agreement with the city's comprehensive plan, In conformance with KRS 100, the planning commission has transmitted to the city council findings of fact and a recommendation for approval of said request to amend the official zoning map, including a summary of evidence and testimony from said hearing. Now be it ordained by the city that from and after the passage, approval, and publication of this ordinance, that the official zoning map is amended for a portion of the property located at 736 Hawkins Drive from urban residential general, which is R4, to neighborhood commercial, C2. This action is taken pursuant to a request by Third Generation Enterprises LLC for the property located at 736 Hawkins Drive and pursuant to the recommendation of the Elizabethtown Planning Commission. The City Council also finds that the agreement with the city's comprehensive plan and that the proposed zoning classification is appropriate. The findings of fact of the Planning Commission in support of the zoning map amendment are adopted as if set out in provisions. The legal description of said property is more particularly described in Exhibit A. Be it further ordained that the mayor of the city and or his designate is hereby authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this ordinance. Read the first time this, the 4th day of November, 2019.
Any discussion?
Got a little bit of question on it. And, I apologize, I meant to try and call that downtown today to ask a few questions, but I just wasn't able to. Obviously, as the ordinance read, it's in compliance with the comprehensive plan. I just think there's something for us to consider and think about on these amendments and these zoning changes. We're trying to revitalize the south side of downtown. And a parking lot where no commerce is being conducted, it's not really a business. I mean, it's helping that business the way I understand it, the way I read the memo attached to the ordinance. It's the business is going to be using the parking lot, but I mean, there's no transaction there. There's no commerce. There's no business being transacted there. It's just a parking lot. And it seems like to me that if we're going to revitalize the south side downtown, that private parking lots are not going to be the way to do it.
But you do sustain a business down there, though.
Yeah, but
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but there's lots of places that can sustain a business and not be on a main drag and a main thoroughfare where we're trying to.
But the only building next to it, that's why they asked that.
And that's, right now, that's a field of grass where nothing is as we speak, so at least we're bringing something to that area. I do understand what you're saying too.
So is he putting cars on the lot to sell? Is that what-
Cars for inspection, I think. is what-
That's right, it's kind of like a holding pattern until he sends them whichever route he wants to send them to his respective distributor business.
He owns it.
Right.
Okay.
So I do understand what you're saying, but there's also nothing there now, so.
It'll be a blacktop parking lot.
Yes. My understanding.
The big basin.
Big place, runoff, that's some runoff. That backs up.
You would get that.
Straight like all other businesses.
Sorry, I could remove that maybe.
I'm not saying I'm against it, I'm just saying I want to make sure that we're all fully aware of the steps that we're taking there, because that's really not going to be an engaging enterprise where traffic is increased and shopping and commerce is.
But you're gonna, I mean, you're gonna have workers working there, which then there's opportunity for lunch, there's opportunity for dining out, purchase for gas. Yeah,
Just activity.
yeah. And I understand what you're saying too, Terry. I think it's not a high volume, but
It's a start though. And it backs up right there to the railroad track. And then take that, cut that right there.
Anyway, just first reading and just some commentary.
Anybody else? Okay, that'll bring us to the second reading of ordinance number 25, 2019, amending ordinance number 909, 2006, and ordinance 22, 2007, and adopting licensing requirements for mobile food vendors. Mrs. Shaw.
This being the second reading, Mayor, I will read this in summary. This ordinance establishes licensing requirements for mobile food vendors. Primarily, this ordinance amends ordinance number 09, 2006, and ordinance number 22, 2007 concerning mobile food vendors. The ordinance defines a mobile food vendor and amends the definition of a restaurant. Effective January 1, 2020, all mobile food vendors are required to pay a $250 annual licensing fee. This ordinance establishes enforcement procedures for the Director of Finance. Copy of the full ordinance can be found on the website, our website at www.elizabethtownky.org.
Any discussion?
I think it was brought up at the last time, the first meeting, we discussed about the issue of, only waiving these fees for city sponsored events. I would like that revisited, I think. In my opinion, I think the 250 fee is whether or not you set up one time, 20 times for a city event or for any event, it's a flat fee of 250. And I know Terry brought it up at the last meeting that it seems like the city is we're not charging them for a city event, we're charging everybody else. So it seems like the ordinance to me is kind of favoritism.
Yeah, but I think Sarah kind of answered that question for us last time when we had the first reading, that we do the same for first time events for Rotary and Lions Club, different, you know what I'm saying?
That, and we do charge for city events, for the large events, we do charge vendors.
Set up fee.
For cruising, it's $250 to $350
Okay,
for the one day, so they are being
I
charged
see.
for that, so
I was wondering what that rate was for that one time.
it depends on size of vendor and size of space and things like that. If they are being charged, it depends on the event. So, if it's a vendor, for example, especially with cruising, we have a couple that come out of, Louisville, places like that, they're gonna set up at cruising, they're gonna pay the vendor setup fee, and that should be it. Of course, it's just being allocated to the account, but then it's going to help pay the event.
And
That's the reason.
okay, and those vendors, they're not gonna come back for any other reason other than those events.
And if they do come back for any other reason, they're gonna have to go through,
The same fee again.
the same fee and pay for something else. The city event, they'll pay a different fee, and they all do.
That clarifies it.
But if they come to, Blue Spikes Barbecue, that's not a city event. So all those vendors are
That's
gonna
right,
pay the
but they get the
$250 plus
exception.
their setup fees.
They get the exception because that's a one-day fee or a one-day event. So they would be under that exception or under exception ordinance that we have in there that we're not changing. But they also pay the Heritage Council a setup fee that's substantial as well. You're talking $300-400 for that one day.
Anybody else?
I think the fees are a little low, but I'm out of no votes, the office of mayor.
You got the November, you used them all up. Okay, I need a motion and a second to adopt.
Motion. Second.
We'll go roll call vote, starting with Councilman Bishop,
Yes.
Councilman Deneen,
Yes.
Councilman Fulkerson,
Yes.
Councilman Shipp,
Yes.
Council Lady Walker,
Yes.
Councilman Willoughby.
Yes.
Okay, next will be municipal order number 58, 2019, approving agreement with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for Starlight Drive. Mrs. Shaw.
At a regular meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, after first being read, a motion to adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Whereas the City of Elizabethtown, the Elizabethtown Hardin County MPO, and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 4 Office have identified improvements to US 31W North Dixie Avenue as an important transportation project for safety, mobility, and congestion reduction. And whereas the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has designed a project, item number 4-1.4.20, to address maintenance, access management, and safety along the US 31W North Dixie Avenue corridor from St. John Road to Pine Valley Drive to include improvements to Starlight Drive. Now be ordered by the Elizabethtown City Council that the city enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to participate in the US 31W Corridor Improvement Project, item number 4-154.20, by providing local funds for the reconstruction of Starlight Drive based on bids obtained by the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, currently estimated to be in the amount of $275,000. Be it further ordered that the city shall design the improvements to Starlight Drive and procure the needed easements and right-of-way from property owners, and upon completion of said project, be responsible for the maintenance of Starlight Drive. Be it further ordered that the city agrees to ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements, and further agrees to all terms and conditions as contained within the agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet relating to said project. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or his designate is authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this order, including the execution of any agreements, contracts, applications, deeds, forms, permits, or any other documents. Read, adopted, and approved is the fourth day of November 2019.
Any discussion?
Yes. I have a question. Edna had talked the other day, from what I understand, the state is doing all the work on that project, correct? We're just gonna reimburse them the cost?
Correct.
Okay. So what does that mean that the city of E-Town shall design the improvements? What does that mean?
The agreement says we design the improvements. You all have already approved hiring Palmer Engineering. You all approved that back in July. They're doing the design work. They also happen to be the design engineer that's doing the design work for the state. So their plans are going to be a single design document. They will list the improvements to Starlight Drive separately, so that when the work is done, we'll know how much to reimburse the state. The state's going to manage the entire project. It'll be a single bid instead of trying to bid separately and trying to coordinate the work between two different contractors, so there'll be a single contractor doing the work. Michael talked to you all last week at the work session about the 3 property owners that were given the easements from. So that the city does the design work, we obtain the easements, the state manages the project. It's our road, so once it's improved, it will continue to maintain it the way we have. It will be widened. It's currently somewhere between 14 and 16 feet in width. We hope to get it to be 24 feet in width in the sidewalk on one side of the road.
So they've kind of estimated the cost of $275,000.
That's the current estimate. You all budgeted $400,000 for the project, covers the design, easements that we have to pay, and the construction costs. So we think we're well within the budget at this point.
Okay.
In regards to this overall project, not specifically the Starlight Drive, are we comfortable that communication between the business owners and the state and everybody's on the same page with what's going to happen? Because I thought, and Councilman Shipp and I were involved in a conversation where we thought everybody was happy, but then in that conversation found out that there was a couple businesses that really were not happy and had still some major concerns about the design of this. And while this is a state project, I understand it, but we are the voice of our businesses for the state.
I know that they've reached out to the businesses along the corridor. They've heard some concerns from a couple of those businesses, and they have had individual meetings with them to explain the project and go over.
And not to interrupt, they've even changed some things
Okay.
to accommodate.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's specific businesses that you're talking about, but we've sent some to them specifically with their complaints.
Yeah, so they've done that outreach, and they're gonna be at a meeting. It's probably gonna be our first meeting in December, just to go over the project again. They have a whole, social media, public relations campaign, get the word out. But they've met with a number of the businesses.
Will that public meeting, will that be at a city facility or the Department of Transportation facility?
The meeting, they're gonna be at your all's meeting, the city council, to make a presentation over the project, so you all understand.
And they'll share with us a timetable at that.
Yes,
time.
yes, sure.
Anybody else?
What would happen if we didn't have $300,000 sitting around to pay for the design and engineering and the development? You know, they request us to be a partner in the 31W project. What happens if the town just says, I'm not gonna do it? They'll just simply do their work on 31W, they don't do any tie-ins or.
Right, they would not do anything outside the state's right of way, so I mean,
it's to our advantage because that's a
Kind of
substandard.
piggyback on this.
Yeah.
And if it's all gonna be torn up, you may as well tear it up once.
I mean, I think we're all for improving
Yeah.
our streets and everything, it's just, I just wondered what would happen if you said, no, we're not, we just can't have.
Yeah, and they wouldn't put that in their project and whatever impacts we have to deal with it on our own.
Anybody else?
Motion to adopt.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. City council information items, anybody have anything they want to bring up?
I did, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, I will segue what Sarah said about Veterans Day in the ceremony at the Nature Park at 11 a.m. next Monday. I hope to see as many people there as possible. It's a great service. I had the opportunity to go last year. It means a lot to our veterans, and our American Legion Post does a great job, and they work well with Sarah. It's a great ceremony. So one other thing I'd like to add, I believe the number was 38 pavers that the city of Elizabethtown purchased to represent the veterans that we have working for us out of our 350 or so city employees. We have 38 veterans that we purchased pavers for to be displayed at the Veterans Park, so we're very proud of that, and we hope for a big turnout and a big crowd to honor these people.
It's nice gesture. Appreciate the city doing it.
Anybody else?
Also want to send prayers out to the Regan family.
Roger's dad passed away.
Wow.
But mom passed away.
And we want to wish Sarah fun times ahead. We'll miss you.
You know, I've tried for
We'll call
months, I've tried for months to get her to name that baby after me, but I don't think she's gonna do it.
You only want to give me 1 week's vacation.
I tried to bribe her. Okay, with that, we will close the meeting pursuant to KRS 61.810 subsection 1 to conduct deliberation on future acquisition or sale of real property by the city. Any we have litigation to talk about?
No.
To discuss personnel which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, member, or student, and to discuss specific economic development proposals. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you, Mayor.